What's up, guys? We're skating the Reynolds 93's today. I've already made one video on these wheels, but I watched everybody else's review on them and I have some opinions. So in my last video, I said they basically feel like normal wheels, just a little bit softer. I said they don't feel like the Dragons. The Dragons feel significantly softer, even just squeezing the wheel. It doesn't feel soft like the Dragon wheels. You can tell with just your hands. But when you stand on it and when you ride on rough ground, you can definitely tell a difference that the Dragons are softer. You can tell that right away. They're both 93A though. Maybe not everybody has the same scale. So I got comments from a lot of people that agreed with me and said that they definitely feel like a normal wheel. And then I got one comment from a guy that said, how come every other review says the 93s are better than the Dragon wheels, but you're the only channel that says the Dragon wheels are better than the 93s? So I'm leaving the 99 for the one, and I'm going to answer that guy's question today. So I'm not really saying that every other channel on YouTube is just a total Spitfire shill, and they're just saying Spitfire's better because Spitfire's the cooler brand. But I have to say stop the cap to some of these channels, and we're going to talk about that today. So last time I skated these on the Slappy lights. There's something about Slappy trucks and Dragon wheels that just go together so well. This time I'm going to be trying them on the regular Slappies. I'm going to take these Dragon wheels off and switch them out, because I feel like these regular Slappies, the 875 ones, just seem to grind better on rough street ledges. So I watched Zach Dowdy's video skating these wheels, and he really does love Spitfire. He's a good skater. He's getting really good at skating street these days, and I've been enjoying his channel for sure. So just because two people have a different opinion, that doesn't mean one of them is lying. You know, people can have different opinions, and maybe he genuinely does like them better. But for me, I think I'm just so used to the Dragon wheels that I like them a lot better. So to me, the Spitfire wheels really did feel like a normal Spitfire wheel, which I've skated a lot of normal Spitfire wheels, but lately I've just gotten so used to the Dragon wheels that that's all I really skate. Man, even worn down, I can feel the difference with my hand, that it just feels so much harder. It really does feel like a hard urethane. So Kevin Nice Try, I'm not too familiar with his channel. He had this to say about his relationship with Spitfire versus Pal and Bones.
I really feel like it's not like a big enough difference to where it would be worth switching wheels. And also, I don't like Bones. I don't like the company. I don't like the logo. You know, I've talked about that in other videos. I just like Spitfire. I'm a Spitfire guy. I've been riding Spitfires for years and years and years and years.
So he just kind of came out and admitted it, you know, he's a Spitfire guy, you know, like Toyota truck guys or Ford truck guys. People have allegiance to the brands that they spend their money on. It's kind of like sports teams, you know, wherever you're from, you're for that sports team, you know, you have this allegiance. So I'm not saying he's biased, I'm just saying that's what he said in his own video. And he's not saying that he's biased, he's just saying that's what he's used to. So I finally know the difference between the channels Dad Board and Big Deck Energy. I kept getting them confused. Dad Board's pretty good at skating. I watched his video. All these guys are ledge dancers. They all just skate ledges all the time. Except for Zach Downey, he's more of a transition skater. But the rest of these guys that reviewed it seem to be primarily ledge skaters. I never really skated a ledge too much growing up because I never really had a good ledge to skate. I never really had a ledge with coping close to me. I did have some good mini ramps though growing up. I built them in my backyard. Also, our skate park had a nice wooden mini ramp that's about 5 to 6 feet tall, and that's where I learned all my tricks at a young age. So that's why I kind of turned into a transition skater early on. I definitely want to ride this board on transition with these. Now this is a bigger board, it's a 9-inch board, and these are 875 trucks. The back of the board is a little smaller though. It's more 9, like towards the middle and over the front truck. It's an old school shape, so it's got a fishtail. It kind of tapers in before it gets to the tail and then comes back out a little bit. So yeah, this board, it's not too good for nose slides, but everything else, it does pretty good. It's got a 15-inch wheelbase, so a little bit longer wheelbase. And yeah, we've got the slappies on there. So I tore my shoelace out yesterday. Had to switch the laces, so I've got some like thin, like running shoelaces going on this shoe. The shoe feels so much wider now. Like, I have a wide foot, but it's really stretched out. These are 11.5 in Vans, and this might be the widest Vans shoe I've ever skated, or maybe I've just stretched it out a little bit. I do measure 11.5, but I wear all different sizes in shoes. It just kind of depends on the shoe. I really like to try them on first. So this is the ledge back here that I struggled with, just that ride on 50-50 last time. I actually could not do it with the slappy lights and the Spitfires. So we're gonna do this right away. I haven't warmed up as soon as I got to the park, and see if I can do it first try with the original slappies, the 875s.
It's a scooter with a cooler on it, so I can sit down.
So right away, I like these wheels so much better on these trucks. The first time I went to grind that ledge, I was anticipating it to be sticky. There's no new wax on it or anything like that. Because last time I tried like 12 times and I could not do it. No matter what I did, I couldn't grind through it. But this time I was going too fast. I was grinding too well, so fast that I flung my board out. But the second time, it felt great. So I don't know what it is about quality control with Slappy, but the new Slappy lights don't grind as good at this park on that ledge as the originals. They say they're the same material. I don't know if they outsourced it to a different manufacturer, but it does seem to skate different here. I don't think it's just the fact that these trucks are wider than the others. I really do think there's a difference in the material on the hangers. So I like Slappy as a company, so maybe I got a defective pair of the Slappy lights, but the original Slappies for me have just worked so much better. But yeah, these wheels actually do grind good. I think it was the truck, and I don't think it was actually just me, because I was like flying through those 50-50s with this truck. So let's take it to the mini ramp and see how it feels over there. So last time, I really struggled with 50-50s on rough street ledges with the Spitfire 93's. But I saw that other people could actually grind through 50-50s on it, so maybe it's just me, or maybe it's the truck. I was skating new trucks, they were the Slappy lights, and even when I changed the wheels back to the Dragon wheels, I had a lot more trouble grinding with the Slappy lights than I did with the original Slappies. And then in the first video I did, I went out and skated some rough street, just rolling down the sidewalk, doing manuals and stuff in parking lots. And I picked up my board and carried it because it was so rough. I usually skate that just fine with the Dragon wheels, so I noticed that the Dragon wheels take out a lot more of the bump from the rough ground. It really did feel like I was skating a regular wheel. And I know it's hard to trust somebody when they say something that opposes everything that everyone else says, but I do take the road less traveled by if two paths diverge in the woods. But that's not the point. I don't work for PAL. I don't work for Spitfire. You know, you might not want to trust Chris Hyatt on this if he skates for PAL. You might not want to trust Andrew Reynolds on this if he skates for Spitfire. Now, I don't skate for PAL, but my PAL sales rep that did give me the Dragons for free. I got the Dragons for free. did tell me, he told me that Andrew Reynolds was skating the Dragon wheels all the time, and that he was getting an idea of what he wanted in a wheel from Spitfire. So apparently they did skate the Dragon wheels for a while and just kind of go off of that. But whatever George Powell did with the Dragon wheels is special, because they definitely feel smoother than any other wheel. They feel smoother than the Ricta Clouds. I've skated those. I made a lot of videos on those back in the day. The problem is the Ricta Clouds were terrible for sliding. They were a regular cruiser wheel, and the Dragon wheels are not like that. They slide almost too much sometimes. Sometimes they kind of give out and slide when you don't even want them to. You know, they definitely slide. Now, a lot of these guys that did reviews skate totally different kinds of parks than I skate. A lot of these guys have really nice ledges with metal coping on the side, which I didn't have in my video. And then I saw that Big Deck Energy guy had a prefab metal park that he was skating. Look, maybe the Spitfires would be better for one of those prefab parks. I don't know. I don't skate those parks. I skate a concrete park, and it's like a skate plaza. We have regular street ledges. They don't have coping on the side. They don't grind super smooth on everything. So I do think what I'm skating is more similar to just street spots than a skate park that has metal coping on all the ledges. So I think Zach's older than me. I don't know how old those other guys are, but they're definitely somewhere in their 30s, probably mid 30s. You don't really see younger kids doing reviews of the Dragon wheels or the Spitfire 93's, because these are kind of like prescription wheels for old men. Like, it's an old man wheel. It's good for your joints. Andrew Reynolds is significantly older than me. I think he's in his 40s now. And he was looking for a wheel for himself. So I think the Spitfire wheels are probably more tailored towards jumping down gaps and stuff like that than the Dragon wheels. They're harder, they're not bouncy, and they sound more like a regular wheel. I definitely heard that a lot in the reviews, and I have noticed that they do have that bark and that squeak. I don't care about that. I don't care what my wheels sound like. I know everybody else does, but it just doesn't affect me that much. So I think so where they're not as bouncy, I think that probably helps a lot when you're jumping down stuff, or if you're just doing flat ground. It feels more like a regular wheel. But that's the thing. It is just a regular wheel. There's nothing special about it. It's just a little bit softer version of Formula 4s. That's my honest opinion. Let's skate it. As far as being faster than Dragon wheels, I've never really felt like Dragon wheels were slower than regular wheels. At most skate parks, I can go really fast on the Dragons. I can skate really fast with these. I don't really have trouble with speed on any wheel, but I did notice the Dragon wheels, once they get small, I can still go really fast. People at the Georgetown skate park were talking about how fast I was skating with tiny wheels. And I think it was because they were a little softer, and I wasn't really afraid of pebbles or cracks, and I was able to skate a lot faster at the park. I think it does depend on what kind of surface you're skating on, what your skate park's like. But for me, I've never really had trouble skating fast with any type of wheels. These do feel fast because they're a little bit bigger though. So this is the most comfortable I've felt on the mini ramp for a little while, but that's because I got a big board, big wheels, big trucks. I've been skating these little 8.25 decks lately, and I haven't felt very comfortable skating ramps. Also, I've got that long wheelbase. That's gonna help for ramp skating. So you've seen my original unbiased opinion where I wasn't affected by anyone else's review. And now you've seen this where I'm totally affected by what everyone else said. I haven't changed my mind though. It still kind of feels like a regular wheel. It feels like a Spitfire Formula 4 that's just a little bit softer. They've had the 99s, they've had the 97s, and this feels like a natural, like 93 version of the Formula 4. That's what I was saying at first. If you like skating regular Spitfire wheels, you'll probably really like these. I think this wheel would be good for woodland where I used to skate. It's got a wider contact patch than the Dragon wheels I skate, and I think that would be great for a rough park like that. For this park, I kind of like a small, skinny wheel.
It really just depends on what your setup's like and what the skate park you're skating at is like. So it's going to be different for everybody. Maybe the slappies that I was skating last time just need to be broken in a little bit more, because the wheels are sliding perfectly fine on grinds with these trucks. So with some of these shots, I would have liked to get my face and the wheels in the shot at the same time, but when you're vlogging with a really long portrait lens, sometimes that's not an option. So yeah, I'm really liking these wheels this time. So this skate park I'm at now, I used to skate small Bones wheels, and then when I lived next to Woodland, I always skated Spitfires, Formula 4s, 60 millimeters at that park. It was a little bit rougher than this. That's the oldest park in the area. So I think this would be the perfect setup for that skate park, downtown Lexington. I used to skate that Jeff Grosso 10.75 out there. I think it was 10.75, I don't know, with Indy 169s and 60 millimeter Formula 4 Spitfires. So yeah, this would be a perfect setup. It's kind of a similar shape to that Grosso shape. It'd be perfect for that park. So one thing I really hated about these wheels last time is I tried to do a blunt slide on this quarter pipe back here, and I couldn't slide at all. And I was used to the Dragon wheels, and I was able to slide several feet with those wheels. So let's see if that's changed any. So I think everything about this board with the bigger trucks and bigger wheels, bigger deck, everything kind of goes together a little better than the setup I had last time with them. So let's see if that helps. So I still feel like these wheels are really sticky when it comes to blunt slides. I know Dad Board was having the same problem in his video. Now those guys are in California. He's in, what, like Sacramento or something, and Zach Downey is in San Diego. Those parks slide a lot better. They're a lot smoother concrete. This is rough concrete, and this park's like 20 years old. So maybe the Dragon wheels work better on this rough concrete, but maybe these wheels work better on that smooth California skate park concrete. What they're riding on is totally different than what I'm riding on here. This park's definitely rougher and more weathered than those California parks. I'm definitely liking these wheels better on this setup. These wheels are significantly heavier than the Dragon wheels I was skating, but it's more manageable on this setup. I was thinking about selling these after that first video, just on eBay or something, but now I think I'm gonna skate them. I think they're primarily gonna stay on this board. So somebody asked, how come you're always out of breath when you're making these videos? Well, I can't really breathe through my nose most of the time. It's pretty stopped up. I broke it when I was a kid, and I have a deviated septum, so if I'm talking with my mouth, I can't really breathe. I know, like, Andrew Huberman wouldn't like that very much, but I don't really care about the way my jawline is or whatever that's supposed to help with. My jaw and chin are already big enough. I don't really need any extra jaw. Somebody's been chalking it up here. Life sucks and then you die. I really thought this was a kid, and then I came over here and read that. I actually didn't know what it said before coming over here. Maybe I should steal this chalk. Nah, I'll just leave it. So yeah, I'm 235 pounds, and these are old man wheels. So I found some clips from when I was a little bit younger, and I was like about 100 pounds lighter. I'll play those now. So yeah, this 360 flip, rock to fakie, I used to do those all the time. Used to be able to kick flip over pyramids and stuff like that. I probably could do it now, especially if I lost the weight. Just being light on your feet, it's not really about being old, it's being light on your feet that really helps. And board sliding this thing would be hard for me now. I could probably do it. I just have to have a new board with a lot of pop. I always skate my boards for way too long till they get extreme razor tail and they have no pop. And I skate a lot flatter boards than I used to. I used to have more pop because I'd skate really steep boards, even skating the nose as the tail sometimes. I just found as an old man, my ankles really like skating mellow decks though. It's just really good on the ankles. And I have a really thick ankle, a lot of muscle mass and little twitch balance muscles, but it still just feels better on the ankle to skate more mellow deck. And several people have suggested I skate that deck that Ben DeGrow designed with reel, but it's more mellow as far as the concave, but the kicks, like the nose and tail, are still pretty steep on that board, so I don't know if it's something I would actually like. So most of my disappointment in the first video had to do with my expectations. These are not Dragon wheels, and they're never going to be Dragon wheels, and I was thinking, hey, these are gonna feel just like Dragon wheels. But we need to throw away those expectations, because this is not Dragon. Because these are not Dragon wheels. They're 93's from Spitfire. They're a totally different wheel. I think that was a common theme in a lot of the reviews. I remember hearing Dad Board say that. They don't feel anything like the Dragon wheels. I heard that over and over from different reviews, and yeah, they don't. They're their own thing. They're their own wheel, and you have to have the right setup. You have to have the right skate park for them, but you can get them to work. So I noticed there were some unbiased reviews. Some of the guys who were like beginner skaters that reviewed these wheels, I heard lines like, hey, they felt like normal wheels. I wasn't sure if I got the right wheels because they just felt like normal Spitfires. I heard that a couple times watching the reviews today. I think I'm really gonna like these wheels. I'm just gonna think of them as regular Spitfires. I'm not gonna get my hopes up and say, hey, these are gonna be like Dragon wheels that go a little faster. I'm just gonna say, hey, these are like regular Spitfires that are a little softer. So I regret the super negative review because I don't think it's a really bad wheel. It's just not a Dragon Slayer. There's always going to be room for the Dragon wheels in skateboarding for really rough ground. These feel like normal wheels to me on rough ground. They might be a little faster, but hey, you guys can just push a little harder and you could go fast on any wheel. I've heard several people say that Dragon wheels drag, but to me, I feel like they're one of the fastest wheels for at least the kind of skate parks and the kind of spots that I skate. I think it just depends on your spot, like I'm saying with all this. Also, these same guys, like Nice Try, Kevin, and all these guys, they were super positive about the Dragon wheels like the first time they skated them when they first came out, and they were like, this is the best wheel, the slide's better than Spitfires. And then the new Spitfire 93's come out, they're like saying these 93's are better. I don't know. Just to me, the Dragon wheels are still better. I'm used to them and I like the way they skate better personally. I have no affiliation with either company. I know I got the Dragons for free and Spitfire left me on red. This is not just me whining about that. Spitfire is a huge company. I don't expect them to read all of their messages, but they really could. Slappy does. Slappy always replies to my messages within 20 minutes. And I know I'm totally gonna get some comments from 14-year-olds about that line, like, oh, this guy's just mad at Spitfire because they left him on red. No, I just try to be as honest as I possibly can in all of my videos, and for me personally, with the kind of skating I do, I just kind of like the Dragons a little more, especially for rough street ground, like cruising down the street and stuff like that. If I haven't beat it into your head by now, these are harder. They're a harder wheel. They're not the same hardness. They are harder. How many times do I have to say that? Yeah, so just know that when you're getting these, you know, they're gonna be a little harder. They're not gonna be as soft and as squishy. You might like that. For flip tricks, these are probably better. But I kind of like the squishiness of the Dragons. I don't know, I think it's just your preference and what you're used to. So the Dragon wheels don't really make any noise at all when you slide. These wheels make a really soft noise. It's not like a bark. It's like a really soft sound. You can hear it in my power slides. Actually remind me a lot of the 97s in the Formula 4s from Spitfire. I remember comparing those to the 99s, and that's what this reminds me of way more than the Dragon wheels. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of content, scroll through my channel, check out my other videos, and hit that subscribe button because I got a lot more videos to come. Thanks for watching. Maybe the Dragons made me feel young again, and the Spitfires reminded me that I'm old. Maybe they reminded me that I'm not as good as I once was, because the Dragons had allowed me feel like my joints were young and feel like I could push through things a little easier. So maybe that's why I was so negative in my first review of the 93's. Go check that video out. I probably skated better in that video because I had a smaller board with a shorter wheelbase, so I could do 360 flips and stuff. I don't know if I could do a 360 flip on flat with this. I could probably do it out of the quarter pipe with a 15-inch wheelbase. That's about it. So I let a friend ride my board. We're gonna get his opinion on these wheels. I haven't told him anything. He hasn't seen any of my videos. So what do you think?
really like them, really.
You don't?
They're like kind of unpredictable. They slide, but they don't feel like they're gonna slide. Thought I was gonna slip out. They feel kind of soft.
Have you ridden the Dragon wheels before?
No, I got the X formula.
How did they compare to the X formula in your opinion?
Night and day.
X formula's better?
Yeah, for sure.
See, I think they feel like regular wheels. I think they feel like regular Spitfire wheels. I don't think they feel soft. Like you were saying, they feel soft. I think they feel hard.
Soft to me.
Oh yeah? I think they feel like the 97s, you know? Like the 97 Spitfire, the Spitfire Formula 4 97s, you know?
Oh, I haven't ridden the 97s. I rode the 101s and the 99s.
Yeah. All right, so we got a third opinion here. Any thoughts from riding it around?
Not too bad.
What do you think? Is it any different than a normal wheel though?
They're not as slick as mine.
Yeah.
Not that I'm riding bones right now, so. Definitely not as slick as mine. Stick a lot more.
So I'm gonna have these on eBay if you guys are wanting to buy them. I kind of thought I could use them, but they're slower than the regular Spitfires like the 101s or the 99s. So why would I keep them? I don't know. They're not as smooth on rough ground as the Dragons. They're like a jack of all trades, a master of none. Sorry, Spitfire. So I'll have a link in the description to the eBay if you guys want to check it out. So I think I understand why Zach Dowdy, what is his name, said these were better, because they are probably better for transition. I think they did grind better in the mini ramp, maybe because they're a little bit harder, and I can see them being better for like metal ledges. All right, so I'm out here in the streets repping a company that doesn't send me boards or grip tape anymore, and today we're going to test the Dragon wheels and the Spitfire 93's. So I kind of know what the Dragons feel like, so let's start this off with the 93's. I'll roll around out here and see how they feel. So the 93's actually feel pretty good out here, probably because this is a very smooth parking lot. This is a government building, so they built this with your tax dollars, so they made sure to spend a lot of money. The government's generous with other people's money. And these wheels actually feel pretty good out here. But it's smooth, it's like California streets. So this is what I would imagine Dad board would be riding. When I was riding the small town, like rough sidewalk, like East Coast straight up falling apart sidewalk, they were definitely not as smooth as the Dragons. So these particular Dragons are worn down, but let's test them out, see how they do.
So I'm starting to see what they're talking about. These don't slide as well maybe on street. They felt like they had a little more grip, but they're definitely smoother.
So I think these are a pretty decent street wheel.
As long as that street is not super rough. Can you see the security guard in there? Walking around, shining his light. See him? See his little flashlight going around. What's he looking for? What's he looking for? So the police department is training a bunch of guys down there. It's hard to see, but can you see those guys way down there? They're running in a circle. Yeah, I might not sell these wheels. Who knows? They might be in the description. If they're not in the description, I change my mind. I don't know if I did an outro to this video yet, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of content, scroll through my channel. I got a lot of videos. And hit that subscribe button, because I got a lot more videos to come. Thanks for watching.